If you do these things, then you are simp and spineless. Most men don't even notice when they start simping. So today I'm telling you, one day they just wake up and wonder why she no longer respects them, why she no longer attracted to them, and why they have lost a part of their own peace of mind. So before you scroll away thinking this doesn't apply to me, stop for a second. Let's check if it actually does. Because the truth is, simping doesn't always look desperate at first. Sometimes it hides behind being nice, being generous, or just caring. But underneath it is one pattern: giving more value than you receive just to be seen as worthy. Now let's get straight into it. The first sign you are simping is this: you spend money on her without any real commitment from her side. Taking a woman out for dinner is normal. That is fine. Yes, that is fine. But if you are constantly paying for dates, gifts, rides, and other luxuries while she hasn't even made it clear that she wants you, then you are not dating. Yes, you are not dating. You are just financing her, and women notice this much faster than you think. They might not say it out loud, but women feel it: the energy of a man trying to buy his way into her affection doesn't make her feel special, it makes her feel powerful. And here is what really goes on in her mind. When she senses a man is trying to purchase her approval, a switch flips. She thinks, I will enjoy the benefits, but I will never take him seriously. Listen again. I will never take him seriously. You become the guy she keeps around for convenience, not for real connection. Just think about it. Would you trust a business pastor who keeps pouring money into a failing project? Of course not. You would see him as weak. Same logic goes here. She doesn't see you spending as generosity, she sees it as desperation. You are covering her Uber, paying for her drinks, and dropping 15,000, 20,000, or any luxury items, or 15,000 on some luxury items, or 1,500 on dinner. Meanwhile, she is still texting other guys, posting third traps online, and hasn't once said, I want you. You are not her man, you are her financial plan. Yes, listen again. You are her financial plan, and that is the uncomfortable truth most men don't want to face. And here is the reality: a high value man invests in a woman after she chooses him, not to bribe her into choosing him. Until there's a real mutual commitment, your wallet should stay closed. Understood this? Your wallet should stay closed. I'm not saying never spend a single rupee. I'm saying spend wisely, not blindly. The right woman will want to match your energy in her own way. Maybe she cooking for you, or bringing you coffee, or showing appreciation through small acts. But if the only thing she offers in return is her presence, you are not in relationship, you are in a transaction. And you, if you are in a transaction, guess who is the customer? You. Yes, you. The second sign that you are simping is that you apologize for things that are not your fault. This I have seen in many of the guys. This one is certain because it feels like you are just keeping the peace. But what you are actually doing is training her to expect you submit. Every time you say sorry for things you didn't cause, her mood swings, her bad day, or her overreactions, you are teaching her that that your job is to absorb her emotions. Just picture this. She gets angry because you didn't text her back instantly. You were at work, focused and doing what a man should do, bending. Instead of saying, relax, I was busy, you say, sorry, I should have texted faster. Just think, just think. That one word, sorry, just told something big. Her emotions are more important than your time. Her comfort matters more than your focus. And once you set that dynamic, it almost never reverses. Women say they want a man who always agrees with them, but what they actually respect is a man who stays calm when she is emotional and holds his ground without being rude or aggressive. You don't win a woman by woman's respect by bending. Yes, you don't win a woman's respect by bending. You win it by standing still. Think of it like when you apologize for things you didn't do, you flip the polarity of the relationship. Focus. You flip the polarity of the relationship. You start championing her approval. Yes, of expecting reciprocity. You are saying your happiness is my responsibility, and that is a dangerous message to send. Owning your mistake shows strength, but apologizing just to stop tension shows fear. Yes, it shows fears, and fear never builds respects. Once a philosopher Epictetus once said, if you want to improve, be content to thought foolish and stupid. In other words, stop seeking constant approval, especially from women whose respect depends on your backbone, not your compliance. Yes, so here is a challenge for you. Next time she blows up over small things, ask yourself, are you apologizing to solve the problem or just to stop the discomfort? One path builds respect, the other drains it, because every unnecessary sorry chips away at your masculinity until you forget what real accountability feels like. And once you start apologizing for things that aren't your fault, the next step happens naturally. You will start defending her even when she's angry. The third sign, yes, the third sign you are simping is you defend her even when she is clearly in the wrong. This is also I have seen in lot of guys. It feels like loyalty in the moment, but it is actually disguised weakness. You think you are protecting her, but what you are really protecting is her bad behavior, and she knows it. Every time you shield her from consequences, you are teaching her one clear thing: you will always stand between her and accountability. Let's make this concrete. Imagine you are out at a restaurant and she starts arguing with the waiter because the food took too long. Yes, because the food took too long. The mature thing would be to tell her, relax, it is not that serious. But instead, you jump in, play her lawyer, and side with her nonsense. Or maybe it is more certain. She is posting half naked selfies while calling himself your girlfriend. Yes, your friends clone you for it, and you, instead of confronting her, you say she is just expressing herself. Don't be insecure. That is not protecting your woman, that is protecting her ego. And when you do that, you are not her partner anymore. You are her public relations manager. You become the guy who cleans up the messes and absorbs her backslash. And in her mind, she starts to see you as a safety net, not a man. Yes. Remember this: supporting your woman when she is under real attack is loyalty, but defending her when she is out of line is self betrayal. There is a quote that says, what you allow is what will continue. Yes, I'll say again, what you allow is what will continue. Every time you excuse bad behavior, you are not showing love, you are showing fear. Fear of losing her, fear of confrontation, fear of standing alone. A man with boundaries doesn't need to shout or argue. He simply draws the line. Yes, you simply draws the line. He can look her in eyes. He can look her in eye and say that is not okay. And ironically, that is the moment she start respecting him again, because respect doesn't come from unconditional support. It comes from earned structure. And one more point, which brings us to sign number 4, that you are simping, is that chasing harder when she pulls away. Yes, this is where most men crash and burn. She starts acting distant, her text becomes shorter, calls get less frequent, and her tone turns cold. Instead of matching her energy, you panic. You begin double texting, over explaining, and desperately trying to fix something she doesn't even want fixed. You think if I just show her how much I care, she will come back. But here is the dark truth. Chasing harder when she is withdrawing doesn't make her come closer, pushes her further away. Yes, it pushes her further away. Desperation has a scent, and women can smell it instantly. Nothing kills attraction faster than a man trying to convince a woman to want it. She already decided what she feels. Yes, she already decided how she feels. Every extra effort to you, yes, every extra effort you make just confirms that you need her more than she needs you, and that is not love, that is imbalance. Picture this: she leaves your message on read. Instead of going about your day, you are starting at your screen. Yes, you are staring at your screen, waiting for those three dots to appear. Hours pass, you check her social media, see she's active, and suddenly you feel your chest tighten. Yes, so you send another text, hey, you okay? She sees it, ignores it again. Meanwhile, she's out living her life, possibly texting another guy, yes, who is not begging for her attention. You see, when a woman pulls back, she's not always rejecting you. Sometimes she's testing your emotional control. She wants to see if you will crumble without her presence, and most men do. The simp panics, and the high value man stays still. He doesn't mirror her silence to punish her. He simply continues his mission because he understands that attraction thrives on polarity, not pursuit. When you stop chasing, something powerful happens. She begins to feel the void. The silence you leave speaks louder than any text. It says, my time doesn't revolve around you. You are welcome in my life, but not required. That tone shifts everything. Yes, that tone shifts everything. Here is the psychology behind it. When you act like she is the prize, you instantly lower your own value. But when you move with quiet confidence, when your life is full, your purpose clear, your focus unshaken, she starts remembering why she was drawn to you in the first place. Because women are magnetized to grounded men, not needy ones. So the next time she starts pulling away, don't sprint after her. Step back. Yes, step back, breathe, let her feel your absence. Your restraint is more attractive than any apology or paragraph you could send. But here is what most men fail. It is not just chasing that costs them power, it is a silent surrender that comes after. Because once you start reacting to her distance, you start letting her control the entire relationship narrative. And here is the one more sign, which is fifth sign that you are simping. You let her control the relationship narrative. Yes, this is one of the quietest form of submission because it doesn't always look weak on the surface. You think you are just being patient. Yes, going with the flow or not rushing things. But underneath you have handed her the steering wheel. Yes, you have handed her the steering wheel. She decides what you are, where you stand, and what the future looks like. And you just sit in the passenger seat, hoping she will drive you somewhere worth going. Seriously, she's the one who says, "Let's not put labels on this yet," and you nod along, even though deep down you want clarity. She's the one who says, "I'm not ready for a relationship," but you keep acting like her boyfriend anyway. day, buying gifts, being there on call, offering your time like it is a free subscription. Then when someone asks if you are her man, she smiles and say, "Oh, we are just friends." And instead of walking away, you laugh it off, pretending it doesn't sting. That is not patience, brother. That is a fear of losing access. Yes, fear of being alone, fear of confrontation. And women can sense it. They might appreciate the comfort at first, but they will never respect it long term, because deep down they crave a man who leads, not a tyrant, not a dictator, but a man who knows what he wants and says it out loud. When you let her define the terms, you are telling her that your boundaries are negotiable. You are basically saying, as long as you give me the crumbs of affection, I'll stay. And that is the first name to resentment. The truth is simple: women respect men who take ownership of their reality. If she is treating you like an option, it is because you have allowed it. There is a code that says, if you don't set the terms, you will live by hers. That is not just relationship, it is about life, whether is a business, friendship, or love. The person with the clearest direction always leads. So take back the frame. Tell her, this is what I want. If that doesn't work for you, that's okay. When you can say that without anger or fear, you have already regained your power.